Hello, and welcome back to Clear Skies Perseverance. I'm your Game Master, Aliza Pearl, and we have some announcements before we jump into session 2, Book Club. First of all, this episode is sponsored by Modifius Entertainment. We always have Modifius books on hand. I say that as I search around. I wanted to specifically just show the Game Master's Guide because that is something that I have leaned on heavily for prepping this session. We're going to be showing off some of the more, I guess you could say advanced, but also optional mechanics tonight. There's also some homebrew mechanics for a holo novel, which we will dive into shortly. But yeah, if you want to check out the Game Master's Guide, you can get yourself one, either digital or hard copy, at modifius.net. You also can celebrate the premiere of Star Trek Picard Season 3, which is, I think, in 3 days premiering. You can celebrate that by downloading Modifius's 3D STL files for the Star Trek The Next Generation Bridge Crew. So if you have a 3D printer or you have access to someone who has one, you can print your own unpainted minis of the Star Trek The Next Generation Bridge Crew as a collection for your, as a set for your collector's items, Star Trek collectors, or to actually play Star Trek Adventures. You can download those at modifius.net as well. And it's also going to be available at on Drive-Thru RPG and My Mini Factory. So go check those out. What else can we tell you? We have a nonprofit partner called Explore Mars. They are an organization that is helping to just continue the advocacy and the dream of bringing humans to Mars. So go and follow them on socials at Explore Mars everywhere. And they have a Humans to Mars Summit that's happening May 16th through 18th in Washington, D.C. at the National Academy of Sciences. We are going to have some info about how you can sign up with a special link from us, potentially. So we'll have more info on that upcoming. But definitely check out Explore Mars and tell him that we sent you. And finally tonight, we'd like to highlight another nonprofit tonight called the Transgender Law Center. TLC for short. They are the largest national trans-led organization advocating for a world in which all people are free to define themselves and their futures. Grounded in legal expertise and committed to racial justice, TLC employs a variety of community-driven strategies to keep transgender and gender nonconforming people alive, thriving, and fighting for liberation. So in honor of Black History Month and our trans brothers and sisters and friends and loves and cousins, please go support the Transgender Law Center. You can go to their website to learn how to donate, support, get involved, or get support for yourself or a friend or a loved one. Their website is transgenderlawcenter.org. You can also follow them on socials at Trans Law Center. So go give them some love and go reach out to them if you yourself are looking for some legal help as well. And of course, I always want to say thank you and hello to the Aux crew. We love you. Thank you for your passion and your generous support over on Ko-fi. If you are not yet a part of the Aux crew, go visit the Streampunks at Ko-fi, so ko-fi.com. Streampunks. I almost said that right one time through. I think I'll always mess it up. But yeah, go visit us there. You can sign up for different levels, starting at like $2 a month up to, I forget how much, 20 maybe, and you get different perks at different levels. But at any level, you are part of our Aux crew, and we thank you. Now, do we have any cast announcements we'd like
I do have
to
one thing I want to
share?
toss in there.
Go for it.
Yes, I would just like to point out that on February 16th at 8 a.m., Star Trek Online is launching A Good Day to Die. And as a huge fan of Klingon content, and because I get super excited every time STO does Klingon content, I am going to be playing it like wildfire. So if you guys are ever on STO, definitely look up Captain Hapgood. That's my
Captain Hapgood. I love that.
It has a space in it because I am like one of the few people, because I was one of the first players of Star Trek Online back in the beta, and that was back in the day where if you created an account name, you could actually put a space in it. So yeah, that's me. But I'm gonna be playing like crazy. And don't forget, we do have our Clear Skies RPG fleet too. which has got a bunch of members, and we've got some allied fleets and a Klingon fleet too. But that's coming up, and they're going to unleash a whole new armor set that is inspired by Star Trek Discovery, and their Klingon aesthetic, the full-on body armor, which I want more Klingon content, so I'm very excited about this. Not to mention they have their temporal recruit thing coming up for the Klingons. So
Oh my God, such good
Qapla'
Klingon stuff coming up.
across the
Thank
board.
you.
Yeah, no problem.
Definitely check that out, y'all. Any other announcements?
Go ahead, Bobby.
Speaking of February 16th, this Thursday in Santa Monica at 8 p.m., if you're local to the Los Angeles area, I'm doing a jazz night at the Illusions Magic Lounge in Santa Monica. It's 2 hours of me singing, so show up, please. Or I'll just be singing to a wall, which I've done. And I will be doing
Lucky
songs
wall.
for my solo album, including the Star Trek medley. That if any of you catched the charity event I did with Trek Talks 2, you already have seen it. And then also, if y'all are in the Minneapolis area,
That's me.
Really? Yes.
Yeah.
In Minneapolis, MarsCon, March 10th through 12th. I'm their musical guest of honor.
Ooh.
So it's a fun little convention, and they have
MarsCon
a comedy
is
music
really,
track.
Really sweet.
It's a really
MarsCon,
fun one.
it's so tiny. It's the tiniest,
It's so
sweetest
tiny,
little
but
sci-fi
it's
con
so
in the
great.
world.
It's small but mighty. And
Yeah.
I'm their musical guest of honor, and I'm doing like a full hour concert, including all of my Star Trek stuff because that's what I'm doing.
We'll talk. We'll get in touch. Yeah.
Bonnie,
Yay,
you totally reminded me. I completely forgot because I never do what you do. But I'm going to be at Gallifrey this coming weekend
Hey.
with the legendary comic book writer Jody Hauser. So look for us there.
Yes.
But I'm going to be at that little tiny con too. Okay, that's all.
Perfect.
I was just going to
Amazing.
say the new episode of my podcast with my sibling, Dungeons and Dragons, is out. We talk about deep fakes and how troubling those have been, as well as a wizard game that we should all probably consider not playing. So that's it.
Interesting. I'm going to have to listen to find out what you're talking about. I'm curious.
Mine is super easy. If you are in the Los Angeles area for WrestleMania, we're gonna be planning for Tights and Fights. We're gonna be planning some meet and greets. In addition, I'll just be around watching stuff. I made a very raunchy semi joke on the podcast last week, and I'm worried that people are taking it seriously.
Uh-oh.
Please don't try to rub up on me.
Oh, God.
It's WrestleMania, not Rubbermania. Jeez.
And sometimes it is, but just look, not for everybody. But yes, we are going to be putting out some great stuff for WrestleMania. We're getting ready to, obviously we're all going to go. It's all going to be wild. So if you like the part of Danielle Radford where I talk about wrestling, stay tuned. We got stuff coming.
Are you Team Sammy?
Of course I'm Team Sammy.
Oh, we're all Team Sammy.
I gotta work in hard.
I want to
don't
see Big E make a huge return this WrestleMania. That's what I'm crossing my fingers for. Anyway,
Look, we got theories. We'll talk.
we'll out there's yeah.
Look, because we'll talk.
All right. Any other announcements?
I'll be super fast. Thin Places Radio podcast I produce. New episode came out. It's really good. I love it. 10 minutes or less. Supernatural radio show. It's very fun. Find us on Twitter at Thin Places Radio and wherever you can listen to podcasts. It's everywhere. That's my stuff.
All right. And Sam.
If you're in the Los Angeles area, that's nice for you. I have nothing for you because I am focused on science because tonight we're doing science. There gets to be science and I'm excited. No, not right now. I'm excited.
All right. And with that, it's time to begin the game. Mike, let's build. And so we begin by picking back up right where we left off in session 1. Well, not exactly right where we left off. Maybe 30 minutes later, Dr. Rylem Reon, our Bajoran ex-Borg, finds himself standing in the intelligence office, which has cleared out except for one intelligence officer. Eric, can you, since we didn't get verbal descriptions of our characters last week, I'd love for you to give us a really head-to-toe description of what Dr. Rylem Reon looks like.
Sure. Rylem Reon is Bajoran, and it is also very obvious from the look of him that he is an XB, which is shorthand for ex-Borg. However, despite the fact that he has a very pale coloration, it seems pretty clear based off of scarring and also how he carries himself that he has been liberated from the collective for quite a while. He looks very adapted to, much like, if you will, a huge inspiration was Hugh in Picard. Obviously had very much adapted back into a non-Borg lifestyle. He is wearing all black, and in a very sort of almost like, as you've seen in the character art, it looks very much like a researcher kind of attire, like a doctorate kind of researcher engineer style, long sleeves, drapes all the way down to just below his waist. Very form-fitting. He is a civilian, so he doesn't carry any rank or Starfleet insignia. He has a badge that indicates who he is and that he is the director of the propulsion laboratories on Utopia Planitia, as well as his engineering scholarly. It is not an MD. He is a doctor of engineering. And you do see he does have a couple of implants still, and not just externally visible, but it is clear if you look at certain areas like around the base of his neck, or even around the times where maybe just underneath his below his wrist where it's visible, you can see that there are some internal implants that have remained. His eyes were once green. They have since lost their pallor, again, as a product of being assimilated into the collective. His eyes tend to be a little more pale than they used to be. And he does have what appears to be some areas of his body, or particularly around his hands and his fingers, where the implants are a little more prominent. But his hair, a lot of it is not going to be growing back anytime soon, but he does grow what he can at the very top. And keeps it nice and short and trim. And he does wear a Bajoran earring, indicating that he has very much a spiritual side in the prophets. And he almost always has a notepad with him, his data pad.
All right. Thank you. And 30 minutes into this conversation, the other person on the other side of that conversation, Bonnie, can you describe your Ferengi officer?
Yes. So Ensign Qila is 5'3.5". She's very proud of that half inch. Probably about 5'4" when she's wearing her boots. That is very relevant because, small but mighty. Ensign Qila, you can always see her wearing very eccentric jewelry or very colorful things. She might even put gems on herself just because she feels like she can finally express herself and be who she's always wanted to be now that she's a part of Starfleet and, wearing clothes like the female humans, even though it's pretty common now that female Ferengi are wearing clothes and whatnot. But yeah, she feels like she's finally able to express herself. She has always a big smile. Again, just short, tiny, and ready for a party.
The way counterintelligence likes to hire them, I guess.
Exactly.
All right.
Before I hire you for
Typical Ferengi
counterintelligence, do you
fashion,
party?
yep. Exactly. When she's not in uniform, you could see her wearing, Ferengi clothes are always known for being very colorful and different patterns and stuff, but she tends to go a little overboard and never really knows what pattern to wear, so she'll wear them all, polka dots, stripes, plaid, at the same time. Fun times.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And so you all have been conversing for a bit of time, and Dr. Reon, you become aware that in about 15 minutes is when you were supposed to meet up for that book club someone invited you to.
Okay. He trails off the end of his last sentence and then comes back and says, "There's also this book club. Do you know anything about this?"
Which book club?
There's apparently I believe the majority of the station staff has been talking about the consistency of our extra work activities, or however they would be described in this case.
Research does show that people who do extracurricular activities and enjoy time off do tend to be more productive in the work hours. So that would make sense.
I think that used to be. I don't know if that necessarily applies to me, though. I keep
You
it.
want to go to the book club?
I don't know. I find it a little challenging, if I can be honest with you. I find it a little. Yes, I feel as though I should. I respect my colleagues. I like to get to know my colleagues. It's important to have a relationship with my colleagues. And I do enjoy their company, I confess. But with regards to a book club, I'm I'm kind of just doing it for them, I think.
But you won't know until you try it. Just like that dish I made a couple weeks ago that you said smelled horrific, but you
It smelled
actually
bad.
enjoyed it.
I did. I was surprised that the texture of cooked snails could be as delicious as they were. And I don't normally eat food. So you think I should go?
Do you want me to go with you?
I mean, if you wanted to go with me, that'd be okay.
I've heard of this book club. I've been invited a few times to partake in a discussion of the literature, but it never really appealed to me in that sort of way. But it could be fun. Plus, you'd have a friendly face there.
It's true. I suppose I'm just having difficulty pulling myself away from this Ross project.
Well, if you want my personal opinion, I think a few hours away having fun with colleagues could do you some good.
It's going to be on the holodeck, I believe.
Makes sense.
It means there's probably going to be an interactive element to it, of course.
Makes sense.
Does it make you uncomfortable? It's not just talking about the literature. We might actually have discussions with the characters, for all I know.
Sounds like a challenge to me. Do you know what book is being discussed?
It's in my... He pulls open his data pad and looks at it and says, it was given to me. I don't recall which one it is. I confess I wasn't paying much attention to what it was and it was handed to me.
The fact that we won't know what's happening means it'll be like a choose-your-own adventure. I love those.
All right, I'll go. Shall I meet you there?
Sure. I have a little bit more work to do here, but I'll see you later.
I'll leave you to
Regardless.
it.
All right.
I have
Hey,
7 minutes. Yes.
and you're gonna be just fine. You're more social than you let on.
Maybe that's true.
Just get to know people a little better.
Yes. Yes.
They might surprise you.
I'm not fond of surprises, but I think I get your meaning.
Slowly, she's slowly pulling back like a surprise that she had behind her back.
He doesn't even notice. He just kind of glances off to the side, kind of like mumbling, "Yes, no, actually, I hate surprises."
Yes.
Well, I'll see you there.
All right. I will see you there, and is there a dress code or some kind of I really should. I'll look it up myself. You have enough to worry about. You prepare you.
I'll do my best. He walks to the door and pauses on his way out as it opens up and just looks back and says, "Thank you for taking the time. This is surprisingly still difficult for me to navigate."
Anytime.
And I hate surprises. And he steps through the door and disappears
Slowly
into the corridor.
kicks the thing that she had behind her back under the console. Yes, I'm aware. I forgot. Dang it. And Ensign Qila goes back to work.
Okay.
But now is freaking out because, like, is there a dress code? What do I wear to the book club? I haven't been to a book club that is. So now she's going through her own head. Is there a dress code? I'm going to ask. Where's I'll do my. Who's in this book club? Do I know who's in this book club?
Would you like to use your intelligence skills to
That's right.
try to find out some things?
You know what? I'm just gonna look up everything. Yes, I'd like to do that.
All right, let's make it a roll then.
My intelligence skills. Yes, I should do. I should use
Yes,
those.
you have them, so let's use them.
Well, might as well.
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
ready.
so
Where's my sheet?
um
There it is.
now I guess the
Okay.
question for you is, are you trying to look for what's just openly available on, say, the General Utopia Planitia Shipyard HoloNet, as in like club listings, holodeck reservation logs, things like that? Or do you want to look a little bit deeper and further than a normal person could?
Oh,
Because that
I don't
will
take
dis-
anything. Like, here's the thing. I've been invited to the book club before, so like, I've gotten the invites.
Oh.
It's yeah. I feel
You
like
don't-
I've been invited before, not by V. I believe.
How about this?
I can't remember who else was in it.
You already have invites in your inbox, so that's not going to be a roll. If you want to roll to maybe generate momentum, it will be a difficulty 0, and it'll just be
I'm gonna scourge through security footage to where the other dates of the book club was to see what they were all wearing while going into the holodeck or to make sure, like, each time that they went in,
okay.
like, to see if anyone was wearing costumes or, like, like if
Oh,
if there's
got
a-
it. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
Then
I'm
yes,
not,
this
like,
is a
yeah.
roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this will be control security, difficulty 2, only because there's a lot of hours of footage to look through.
Okay. Well, in the invites, it gives a time and place. I know what time they're meeting.
Okay, then I will
Yeah.
lower the difficulty 1.
Haha.
We're watching the might of Starfleet counterintelligence at work right now.
Yes. Wow. I crit. Well, I guess unless I can use, if I use a focus, I can crit. Does infiltration? Am I infiltrating the book club?
I missed you, Bonnie.
I feel like this is an infiltration of the book club.
I don't think so. You said yourself you've already been invited.
Touche. I have a success.
Okay. You only needed 1 and you got 1. So, yeah, you scrub through looking at those other times and dates that you were invited but never went. And you see that when people walk in, no. They're just wearing it looks like they either came straight from their shift or they're wearing their casual clothes. But no, it doesn't seem that people are dressed up any particular way when they're walking into the holodeck.
Is there an invite for tonight's book club in my inbox?
I'm going to say yes. And the person who sent it will need to give detail.
Who sent it? Let me find out.
This is turning into Clue all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Who sent the invite?
Who sent the invite?
I think the easy explanation would be it came from Ty.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Ty, would you say that was there any instruction about what people should wear in your invite?
I think it probably said Oh, it's unhelpful. It said usual costume closet policy applies.
Great. That's what it says.
What did it say? Sorry.
The usual costume closet policy applies.
But what do I wear? Kila's freaking out. So now Kila's rushing. She has no idea what story is even being told or what they read or anything. So she's just gonna go to her closet and like probably bring like a small, like a bag of multiple options.
Can we say, since you're still in the intelligence office, please let this be a closet that you keep for doing like undercover and reconnaissance?
Infiltration!
So
Yes.
yes, there's
Yes.
this random.
This is my closet of disguise in my own office. I have the mustache, the glasses. Yes, I have it all. I'm pulling it out. But what do I wear? A toga? Maybe? I don't know. I'm gonna just bring it all. I'm just gonna stuff it in like a little bag, but also be cool about it. Like, you know.
Oh,
I'm trying to. Yeah, I wish I would have paid attention to the invitation, and actually knew what this was about.
well,
I'll be wearing my Sunday best.
well, with
By Sunday.
with your bag of disguises, you stroll out the door and head towards the holodeck. But meanwhile, during that conversation between Reon and Qila, there was another conversation happening. Ty, where would you be about 30 to 45 minutes before this meeting of the book club?
Kaz, have you let me go up? I want to go up. Are we uppies?
We can absolutely go up. Yeah.
Up where?
Up to the hull of the ship.
Oh,
We gotta go. There's more of it up there. We gotta go look at it.
all right.
Close
great.
scan. Better scans close. Science up there. Therefore
Science up there.
uppies.
Are y'all spacewalking currently, or are you in a shuttle?
Kaz.
Oh boy, the shuttle takeoff is it's always comically embarrassing for Kaz because she hates flying, but she's great in like EVA suit spacewalk stuff. So like she's like, okay, here we go. Somebody else probably like brought the shuttle up because she doesn't fly stuff, and so she was like, like can't look out the window, like has to be like very very normal about flying it. But then once we're like in orbit, she's like totally chill, and it doesn't make any sense.
Makes sense to
No,
me.
it doesn't. You never used.
Sorry. We're in the scene. Go ahead.
Ready for EVA? You've done EVA before, right? Yeah, we're good.
I got my minimal certification so
You'll be
that I
great.
can
Let's
go
go.
places and do. Oh,
Start suiting up.
all right. I'll.
It's fun. This is the fun part.
This is-
You're gonna rock it. It'll be fun.
The tricorder part's the fun part. I watch what you're doing very carefully. Officer see, officer do.
Yep. Kaz is very like calm, confident with this process. Like just super easy. Throws everything on, and is like ready to go. There is like no hesitation. This is easy as putting on pants. Like this is something that she does regularly, and you can tell.
Yeah, that confidence looks much more familiar. So, a little more trepidatiously, Ty will put on their EVA suit. They are, I think, a fair bit shorter than Kaz, despite the extra inches from the wavy hair that has been pulled back as the least effort method
Oh yes, do
of
what we gotta do.
accounting for hair.
Do your full description.
Oh, yes. Description. Thank you.
Yep. They have some salt and pepper going on, and probably more bobby pins than were structurally required if one were good at the bobby. Sometimes it's one bobby pin in the right place, but sometimes it's 8 bobby pins, and then you're sure. They look around for a place to put their lab coat, and eventually settle for swapping it with the EVA suit and roll down their sleeves of their science blues, wishing that they had worn coveralls, but having no reason for it today. They didn't know they were about to do big science. They just rub the side of their head a bit over their trail spots, and they double check the seals on their helmet before looking and double checking with Kaz as to how she is doing that precisely.
Yeah, I think Kaz is already kind of looking over at you and like watches you do your double check and then like visually double checks yours. So Kaz is I think mid late 20s ish, looking Trill, about 5'7", 5'8", broader, very much visibly you can tell this is someone who does like manual labor, even if you didn't know that she did salvage shipyard stuff. She just kind of looks like she's built for it. She has the trill spots that go down the side, down her neck. She wears the coveralls, like the jumpsuit flight suit, and she kind of tends to wear them all the time. They're roomy. Why wouldn't you want to? They're great. And then she has kind of really, really short cropped, like dark brown, almost auburn hair that has like there's a little bit of length on the top, but like barely, and then the sides are kind of shaved down. And she's kind of standing there with her hands on her hips, kind of visually once over as all of your valves and all of the zippers and buttons and attachments. She goes, "All right, ready to do it?"
Ty checks over yours as well, purely to put a second set of eyes on it, finds nothing of significance. Naturally, this is perfect. And without any further obvious excuse for procrastination, yes, let's do it.
Okay.
And with that, your shuttle pilot, a Benzite woman named Dunay, Lieutenant Dunay, opens up the shuttle bay. And now there's nothing between you and the wide expanse of space besides this ship.
So, you've been doing a lot of these since you got here?
Yeah, I kind of spend a lot of time out here, and she'll kind of start moving to step forward and out. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's easier to when it's like the ship is in its natural environment to kind of like see how it works and all the pieces and all the parts kind of function how they're supposed to, even if it's like decommissioned, salvage, whatever. If it's on the ground, you know, it's like when you bring like a deep water, deep pressure creature up to land, you know, that's not how it looks. That's not how it functions.
It takes so long, and there's always some kind of epigenetic change. You don't even know how it happened. Yes, I understand perfectly.
Exactly. It's like that, but with the ships, so they're cooler up here anyways.
Well, yes, there's no atmosphere. Oh.
That too. And she'll kind of like leap forward, kind of go towards the areas that we are headed. Are we okay? So what particular area would we be headed towards? Because Gina Roberts had eyes on the ship, the rest of the ship. Where is it docked currently?
So it is in the hold. So there's this like construction, almost like a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And that where it's currently docked under that, and that's where you are as well. And this is the USS Bovell. As you said, this is the scrapped Ross that you have been kind of picking apart to see what's usable and what's not. So there is a huge section about the back quarter of the body of the ship is just carved out and exposed to space.
Yeah, I think I want to lead us to where the cross section is, so we can see if we can spot an edge of what we found planetside.
Using your EV suit's propulsion, you kind of zip over to a cross section of the ship and latch on, and now you two are attached to the side of the ship at a cross section.
After you.
All right. So,
I heard about the hull appearance. Anything else I should know?
Well, I mean, from the specs that Robert sent me, and she'll kind of pull up. Do I have any sort of like pad or something hollow or a screen that I can pull up the scans that Roberts had sent me earlier?
Absolutely, yeah. You would still have your holopad on you.
Okay, yeah. So she'll pull that out and kind of pull up the scans. And so from here, this is kind of where we're at from there, and she'll kind of point to the corner of the cross section. And so from what we can tell, it looks like it's just we just slice it right out.
All
So
right.
theoretically, the edge
Yeah.
will still be here if we can find it.
Probably the best candidate for getting more data.
And then I will toss over the scan metrics that we used last time that we were able to actually like spot it with and give those to Ty because they will be able to maybe get different extrapolations upon that to see what we can find.
Okay. Interesting. Anything I can infer about what we are looking for based on the frequencies that proved useful on their initial scan? Some things will show up well at some frequencies, others not, and do I know anything about those? May I maybe do a bit of science about
A bit
it?
of science, you say?
A little bit of science about it, perhaps.
Absolutely. If this is just you trying to infer from the frequencies of the
Yeah,
scan.
so maybe I can tune my next scan to be a little more targeted based on what they saw, the preliminary data.
Insight science.
I would love to.
Difficulty 2.
All right. Lovely. And is my tricorder doing anything with this?
Well,
This was an
Are
mental inference, wasn't it? Or
Fair enough, fair enough. True.
yeah, it depends
Yeah, I'm
on-
just
yeah,
looking
how
through
you're
my
treating it.
various buffs. Okay. Then I don't think a particular focus might necessarily apply to this. Who cares, though, with that nat 1?
Nat 1
so-
as in STA?
Yeah, that's...
Nat 1?
Yeah, STA nat 1. Oh, yeah.
All right.
No, yes, natural 1, so that puts 1 momentum on the board.
All right, great. So yes, you get sent over these sensor settings to be able to pick up this thing that's in the hull. And yes, one thing you do notice is that these are the types of frequencies that are obviously outside of the typical sensor range, and usually there's nothing there to see. There are things like dark matter that scientists from lots of different species kind of figured out. And those are at this end of the spectrum. They're not the things we usually will search for in sensor scans because most materials that we use and interact with as humanoid species just don't exist in that range. So it's something very rare and very strange.
Kazi, you brought me something good.
nice. What is it?
Oh, I have no idea yet. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. How do we
Alright,
figure out what it is?
Oh, so many more scans.
Sweet.
Can you hold this? Just a whole recording equipment.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like I think Kaz does kind of like a little balance thing, like where she like hooks one leg around a thing so she can have more hands to help hold things. And we'll just kind of like sort of float but very casually with like an ankle hooked into something and just we'll like watch.
All right. I guess now I think I best roll for scan.
Yes. All right. So this will be now you absolutely will use your tricorder. So that will lower the difficulty of this. And also you're not the first to now scan and view this. So I'm going to say difficulty 1, lowered down from 3. because of those
Fantastic.
circumstances. And let us say, are you, yeah, reason science?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
reason
Lovely.
science.
Again, I don't think any of my foci quite come in here. But would you say on the basis of that previous calibration, this is a task covering the same scientific or technological field?
Yeah.
All right. Then I'm knocking that difficulty down by 1 and arrogating unto myself an additional d20. For
Difficulty
testing a
0.
theory and theory into practice. All right. So that momentum is in, so a million dice. Let's go. Okay, so it's 3 successes and a complication.
Beautiful.
I love linear probabilities.
We love a complication.
They give and they take it. This is wonder. Oh, I'm proud of you, babies.
Okay.
You're so good.
So that
I love this for us up in
complication
space.
is now mine. I will take that complication. And you got a lot of momentum, so it sounds like you're up to 4 momentum in your bank. Is that right?
I spent 1 for an additional die here, so we are at 3,
Lovely.
which may or may not be studious now.
Well, and let me just.
Oh, and I generate I generate 1 bonus momentum that can only be used on obtain information
Okay.
per science officer.
Would you like to do that
I will once I find out
stuff?
some
Okay.
information.
I'm counting up all my threat. One of the really lovely things about having such a large cast is you get 2 threat per cast member.
Well, I know that is the largest pool,
Memories.
so we'll see what we can do.
Amazing.
That's something you never want to hear a GM say. I'm just counting up all my threat. It's like,
Counting
what?
up all my
No.
threat. Just
Yeah, no, that's awful.
My threat doesn't jingle, it folds.
I love you so much. Oh, God, you.
Oh my.
Okay, what?
Oh my gosh.
What is the scan reveal?
Okay, so the
So
scan.
many things.
All right, so you were doing a straight up tricorder scan, but now through your science tricorder. So, more information. You compiling with the settings, the sensor settings you got from Kaz, compiling with your very supercharged science tricorder, you only need to press a few buttons to actually now get a molecular structure of the most basic piece of this, the building block of whatever this massive object is.
Oh, it has long range order. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a repeating structure. So this you're able to your tricorder zip couple of things, and you get that molecular. So now you have that, and you can actually just pull it up as a holographic image. And again, it looks like nothing you've ever seen before. You don't recognize this molecular structure. It doesn't look like anything you've ever seen.
Okay, so perhaps the information I would like to obtain is what we're looking at atomically. Are we looking at a silicon substrate like I might find in a computer? Are we finding any kind of carbon building blocks that I might expect from something traditionally organic? What type of unusual matter am I seeing? Just looking at the bismuth or lead or oxygen or lead would be weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You don't have to spend your momentum on this because this will be visible now that you have this model pulled up. It's organic. It's silicon based.
oh, Cass, you didn't. My birthday's not for months.
You're welcome. What'd I bring you? And she kind of tries to look at your at your tricorder to see if she can decipher any of the information on it.
Organic on a silicon substrate.
It is organic. It was moving. That's why I called you. So
With repeating order at scale. Oh, right, shipyard. We will need to stop.
Oh, Roberts is not going to be happy about that.
Until, you know, if I were an organic being on a silicon substrate, I wouldn't like to be cut into. So perhaps Roberts and this putative being might share in the mutual frustration or dissatisfaction while we learn more. Oh, I run my hands over the hull. I know nothing about you, and you are. Oh, you are beautiful.
It's okay. Gina likes me. And she kind of chirps. He goes, Roberts,
Yeah.
bad news.
What's going on?
The ship stuff, organic. We gotta stop for a little bit.
I don't want to be the person to tell Veluth.
Neither did I. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, sure. Make your superior officer do the reporting. I see how it is.
Oh, I'll do it. I'd love to ruin his day.
Well, we can all ruin his day. That's fine. Anyways, wanted to keep you apprised. We can actually also tell him. I guess we're stopping.
All right, I guess we're stopping. I'll put in the order in the department.
Sounds good. Kaz out, and we'll
All right.
trip down.
How did you get in here? Was this a phase phenomenon? Oh,
And it's
do you have the time?
Kaz never in her life has ever been aware of what time it is. She starts like pulling up for her tricorder. Does the tricorders have time on them?
I would hope so.
I will turn my tricorder towards them.
Oh, no, not now, not with this. Oh, I've gotta go. I have I have to go.
Okay.
Will you be able to take me back? When will you be able to take me back here?
Wow. I mean, I'm back on shift in the morning. I'm on day shift right now.
All right, good. I'll let my lab know I will be here with you and with you.
That'll be fun. Well, you've got places to be, so let's go get Dunay and then take us back.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Here we go.
Thank you.
For sure. I want to know what it is too. If we should keep an eye on it for it, and maybe we should start running scans at other ships also. Just in case.
I will never say no to more data.
All right. We head back.
Okay. Back down on the station. Where would we find Lieutenant Koi Chang Lee right now?
Koi Chang Lee.
And this is about 30 minutes before the Utopia Planitia book club starts.
She's going to be in the kitchen portion of her lab, trying to make like a treat to bring to everybody. And I think she's like going to be cooking a special favorite of hers to share with everyone. And it's going to be feng zhao, which is literally means phoenix claw. But it's going to be braised chicken feet with like salty black beans. It's really, really good. But this is done with like raw ingredients that she got from the replicator, and she is like cooking the dish herself with everything that she was able to create.
Sounds delicious.
And do you want me to describe myself as well?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, Koi Chang Lee. Since she's in the kitchen, she's going to be having her uniform on, and over it is going to be a very ruffly apron. That's going to be like a ton of lace. It's very impractical as far as keeping yourself tidy, but it's really pretty. It's going to be multicolored and just lots of lace frilly everywhere. For Koi herself, she is 5'10", so quite tall. From my personal 5'4" standards, I think that's very tall. And just kind of long-limbed and gangly. She probably had a very, very late growth spurt, so she's still not quite sure how to handle her body. She's in her mid-20s. She is Chinese and some like other things in her genetic background that's kind of like a smattering of everything, mostly Chinese. She has long black hair and that she wears in like 2 double humongo buns and like hair trailing down like her picture, and also does a lot of makeup, like very bright colors and as much jewelry as she is officially allowed to put on, all of it gold, that is from her family, and she'll switch it out all the time. In terms of the way that she moves, there's a little sort of flow where it doesn't seem like she's ever standing still. Like even when she's standing there talking to you, there's probably a lot of head movements and arm movements and just kind of like looking around the room and then like looking back at you again. So that's kind of Koi Chang-li in a nutshell.
All right. And as you're preparing this dish in your lab, one of your commanding officers, Veluth, enters. Veluth, can you give us a description of what you look like?
Yeah, Veluth is around 6'5". He's got the look of like your average basketball player, lean and muscly. His uniform is prim and proper. Every crease is in its right place. Cufflinks don't move an inch. His presentation is very meticulous. You can tell that he spends time on it. And if you have a lot of experience with Vulcans, however, the difference between Veluth and perhaps another Vulcan you can see that you've met is that with most Vulcans, it's as though their emotions are just kind of like gone. But with Veluth, it's very much like there is a very practiced tampering down of the emotion. You can still sense when he's angry, but they don't express it. So I'd imagine he just walks in, stands straight. So I'd imagine that this is preparation for book club.
Yes, once I see Veluth come in, I'm going to turn around and run straight at him with a chicken claw in my chopsticks and be like, you have to try it. It's not quite done yet, but I think it's almost there. But can you just try it and see? Tell me if there's too many bones.
I think I'd prefer to try it when it's finished.
Oh, of course. You want the perfect product. I completely understand that. And then I like, from where I am, I kind of run close and like throw the chicken claw back into the pot that it's in and flick it in. And instead I grab a spoon, I dip some sauce and say, well then come and try the sauce at least so you can see how it's going to taste. And I'm going to try and chase him with my little spoon and do like, here we go. Put it in your mouth.
This will be the only thing that I am tasting until it is time for the book club, correct?
Yes, just this one thing.
Very well. He just takes it in, and he looks at you and goes, this is consumable.
Mm-hmm. Yes! Yes! Consumable! That's not bad. All right. And I'm going to take the spoon back and I'm going to like chuck it into the replicator area so that it can be remade again. And say like, oh, I'm so excited for tonight. I cannot wait for everyone to get in there and just make their minds explode. You know what I mean?
That's actually why I came here. I wanted to verify that my presence is absolutely necessary for this book club meeting.
It is necessary. I've already reserved the spot, and your name is on the list. You wouldn't want to not be in accordance with a list, right? It's registered on the system.
I understand that, but with the recent discovery of a organic life form on the ship that we're to dismantle, I think that it might be more prudent if someone were to stay behind and perhaps run a few more scans to see what this life form is, whether it is a synthetic life form, or to see if there might be a way for us to create an environment more suitable for it than the starship that it's currently residing in.
If I know Ty is already there running a million scans. Veluth, you are not needed there. You are needed on the ship. The Argonaut, where we're going to commence our adventure. It is a very exciting time, Veluth. Please do not disappoint me. I will be very sad. Do you want to see me cry? Because I will cry.
Seeing you cry is not my goal. I just...
Oh, don't do it to me, Veluth.
Very, very well. I will meet you at the book club, though. I will meet you at the book club, though. If my attention is required elsewhere, I may need to leave early.
Why would you need to leave early?
The aforementioned organic life form residing in the starship that we're to dismantle.
If it explodes or eats someone, sure. But other than that, you have to stay until the end. There's a surprise at the end, I hear. I'm very, very excited for it.
The tale of the Argonauts. You believe
So you
there
promise
is
you will come?
I will participate.
I'm so excited to have this happen. All right, this should be done. So let me just wrap it up and then we can go together, okay? It's gonna be a ball, I'm telling you.
There were a few items in my office that I was going to acquire before going to the holodeck. Perhaps I could meet you there.
No, I'll come with you. And Koi is going to just like run back to the kitchen and kind of like toss everything together, throw a lid on the pot, and then like it's super hot and she's gonna have pot holders and she's just gonna be like, I'm ready to go! Let's go!
As soon as you walk out of the room, you just hear Veluth go, computer, cancel runaway protocols.
Acknowledged. I couldn't help it.
I appreciate you so much. You just made my life.
Gonna get sued!
Program deactivated.
We're gonna get flagged by Twitch. Paramount CBS is gonna kick in our doors.
I'm sorry, just my little Trekkie heart just did 3 backflips.
Yeah, no.
All right, oh, that's off the bucket list. Yes, all right, then I suppose I have no other option than to go with you to the book club. Lead the way.
And speaking of the holodeck, waiting outside, perhaps, well, you can let me know if it's characteristically or uncharacteristically early. Veevee, you are here waiting for the book club to convene, perhaps catching up on your HoloNet messages. You're getting some tags, bling, 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 some notifications that you're being tagged in things.
They just let anyone tag you in these. That's like the back of my head while I'm trying to like eat.
You see
I'm
lots
sorry.
of...
Am I not denobling enough for you? Oh my god, these Americans, they get so like, I'm sorry, like Earth gets so weird. Am I not denobling enough? It's like, you know, you're not one thing for enough for one thing. You're not another thing for enough for another thing. And I'm sorry, I didn't. I'm sorry that I didn't include you on my holodeck. Like I didn't include you on my holonet thing, but like I don't know you. You were just some rando that came up to me at a restaurant and was like, "I really like your underwear." Who says that?
It sounds like you're also um, denying some of these tags. So you can decide whether they show up as on your HoloNet profile or not. And it sounds like you're kind of going through and being like, nope, nope,
I
nope.
don't know you. Why would you try to call me for like a half an hour? It's not that I don't like people. And Veevee is like looking around at like other folks around there. It's not that I don't like people. I just don't like people I don't know. So Veevee is the Noblin who grew up on Earth, and as like the daughter of ambassadors, she is she's got like the gorgeous like head ridges, but she does, I think, possibly because of her like upbringing in like in San Francisco, like around Starfleet. She kind of covers it sometimes when she's feeling like not super like secure about it. But yeah, like she um in on Earth, she's kind of known as the equivalent of, those TikTok luxury designers who are like, oh, hello, I would like to show you. And they're like just like opening like drawers of like 80 teas. And you're like, oh, that seems like a lot of teas. That's really good. And there's like another marbled like counter where it's like, and here are another 50 teas. And like the whole time they're talking to you about like, here's how you get through adversity, and they're like fluffing their like all white pillows in their all white bedroom on their all white marble. And it's like, if you're ever feeling really bad, just choose from one of your, at this point, 500 teas that you've gathered from across the galaxy, and one of them will surely make you feel better. And if people tell you that you can't use tea to make you feel better, then they can go, and it cuts off.
And as you're scrolling through these tags and denying most of them because they're random, you actually pause because you come to several tags between pictures, gifs, and video of the people you met earlier today. Jamila and her newlywed husband, Masood, and the family, the Denobulan family.
Veevee is very touched because ideally Veevee is like obviously is a child of privilege. She's come from like these ambassadors, and like it's paved her way to be able to go do basically almost anything that she wants. But what she wants the most is to be able to create experiences like she did for this family. And like, like she does, like hearing this family, other families, hearing a kid say things like bonobos, like is to Veevee, that's life, because she could be off, you know, living a more extravagant life, hanging out with more extravagant people. She wants to create a space where people who are working very hard to make like this federation happen and to make everything equal for everyone are good. And so it doesn't mean that she doesn't have opinions, but it also means that like, oh, when a little baby is like she's gonna like lose her mind. And so as she's seeing that one, she does the, HoloNet version of reposting with, so happy to connect with this gorgeous family today. Had so much fun. Love it when people get to hang out for and see what it is that we do here when we help build our Starfleet ships. Hashtag make it great. Hashtag that kid's cute. Hashtag does he like other foods? maybe hire him. Hashtag. Oh gosh. Hashtag. Hey, don't try to call me.
And with that, you post that to your HoloNet. And it's at that moment, you're having that warm moment, just remembering the Denobulan children and Jamila and her husband, when Dr. Rylem Reon, you are heading down the hallway, you turn a corner and you see the holodeck and you see Veevee standing in front.
Good evening.
Hi, Doc.
Am I early?
I feel like a doctor always comes when they decide they want to come. That's from my archives. That's bad. Oh God, Veevee, that's bad. You're not early. You're just on time. We're all on time.
Good.
Good to see you.
And you, do you have any idea what this activity is exactly? I understand that it's a book club, which...
Yes, we are going to, my understanding is we're going to go through and do like a holo novel. It's very exciting.
We're going to go through... I'm back that... Sorry. We're going to go through a holo novel, is that correct?
Well, yeah, like that's part of, it's a book club. So we're going to talk about like the book that we all took part in, and then we're going to go experience it together as a family. Do you not want to do that?
I am in the middle of trying to walk back some very curious design choices on one of Starfleet's most successful class starships of the past 25 years. And I have a power problem with the EPS conduits in the Ross class. And it would appear to me, judging from the blueprints that I have been studying and a lot of the engineering schematics that I've been going over, is that Starfleet did an excellent job in constructing a ship that they never fully helped reach its potential. And now we're being asked to constitute an entirely new version of the Ross class, utilizing its secondary warp core, with a frame that doesn't support the amount of power that is flowing through it at the rate that it flows through it at.
Yeah, so like I don't talk about it a bunch, but I obviously had to study a bunch of engineering in order to be able to do this job. I don't understand what's going on and why there are two warp cores. So in my capacity, obviously I am not in charge of the engineering. I am in charge of design and all of these other things.
Right.
But that I've been trying to, maybe you'll understand this. I think I told you this, where we design it according to, maybe it's like, hey, why are there two warp cores? That doesn't make sense to any of us.
Starfleet was I don't know what Starfleet was thinking when they put a secondary warp core in the saucer section of the USS Ross. It seems to me like they were attempting to do something and then sort of stopped halfway. But this is all to say that I'm attempting to solve this particular issue. And I'm a bit distracted right now. And if I can be honest with you, the book club, which I've come to believe is something of a, I suppose, a beneficial social engagement.
It's very beneficial.
Right.
Like, social engagement is really important. It is the way that we bond together as a crew.
Of course.
I'm sorry, I can't, maybe I'm biased, but social engagement and finding ways to have it for all of us to have these things in common that we do not only bonds us as a crew, but it also makes us stronger as people who work on the ship, aside from our friendships and the personal things it might give us. It also means that when you're bonded with your crew, they're more likely up for you when you need them to. They're more likely to have your back. It's very important, and I know Obviously, I was raised on Earth, but that's a very deep. That social contract of friendship and helping is very important to, my folks. So
I'll take your word for it. I don't dispute what you're saying. I'm just trying to, for lack of a better word, adapt.
understandable. Are you gonna come?
Well, I am here, so I suppose I should stick around, and I have been encouraged by others that I should attempt this, so I will do my ready best to do this activity and not think about the enormity of the work that the commander has put in front of me and what Starfleet Command is expecting.
I do think that this would be good for, I think that team building and building a community is as important as building all of the ships that we build in this yard. Right?
I don't have that kind of data, but I will defer to you.
Fantastic. You want to go in?
Yes.
Great. Lead the way.
Thank you. He'll step on through, clutching his data
Holodeck.
pad.
Doors open and clutching your data pad. Yes, you step through those holodeck doors. And they close behind you. And we are going to skip ahead to about 15 minutes later. All of you has assembled on holodeck 3.
Do we finally know what it is so I know what to wear?
Ty, you have been the initial inviter. Would you like to take it away?
Ty's not interested. Ty was like, I'm piecing out. I think we lost Ty. Did we lose Ty?
I hear them.
We can hear and see Ty, but I think some folks can't. So we might actually want to pause here and take a short break.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
we
we're
make sure everyone's on audio and video.
yeah.
So when we return, we will commence with this meeting of the Utopia Planitia Book Club on Holodeck 3.
But
See
what
you
will
all
I wear?
in 10. Welcome back to the Utopia Planitia Book Club. We are standing in the holodeck with our players here, and I believe Lieutenant Soselle Tairo, aka Ty, was about to explain some things about the book club to some of the newer members. Ty, take it away.
Yes, so I see a few new faces. I know the doctor from Warp Core Engineering is new here. I didn't expect Lieutenant Kaz here. I wouldn't have been so cagey. Any other new faces, just so that I can give you all the once through. You finally said yes.
Well, my free time is very valuable, but I figured I'd check it out. Also, what do I wear?
Yes, on behalf of those of us more familiar because our time is less valuable. The costume closet is right over there. We have the racks of broadly genre-appropriate stuff, but also if you need to replicate on the spot, there is a catalog as well. The sizing is fairly varied, but all humanoids are built differently, so feel free to add any tailoring specifications to the system. We want to see folks back, so you put them in once, and then anytime you need to replicate something, it'll be right there for you.
Can I help dress you? I would love to help dress you. You look amazing. I think you would look so good in fuchsia. What do you think?
Fuchsia?
Yeah.
Do you think it'll bring out the color of my eyes?
Yes. Let me come close.
Then dress away, and I'm just gonna kick my bag out of the way.
Yes.
Because I'm like, this is exciting.
I'm gonna pull Qila by the hand and like half run, half drag her over to the closet and start just like putting things up against and like seeing how it looks.
Kaz will follow as though standing in line to be next.
Yes.
She wears the same jumpsuit every single day. This is not someone who knows how to dress up.
Koi is in 7th heaven right now and just so happy that there's like these willing subjects who are just ready to be touched and perfected and look amazing. So we're just gonna be in the corner just like trying things on.
Perfect. Good. While they're working through all of that, any questions?
Would I be able to attempt a stealth check?
Try, please, Valuth.
Okay, yeah, I mean, daring security.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'd love to roll against if I may.
I would like to roll against as well. The security officer would like to roll against a stealth check.
So for Valuth, daring security difficulty 2. There's a lot of people and you're in close quarters.
Okay.
And I would just say insight security for anyone else who's maybe looking for something to notice.
Here we go. Oh, that's not great. I got a 7 and a 17.
Yeah, you did not meet the difficulty. So, what do they see you do?
You see, as everyone is getting their costumes and everything ready, Valuth is slowly taking steps backwards towards the door.
I think as like Tovaa has her arms out and like Koi is like holding up like something very like big and fabric and colorful, like not even looking, Tovaa goes, "Oh hey boss, I know we're like off hours, but update from Orbital. We got new info. If you were, where are you going?
What?
I think we're all gonna turn and look at Valuth as like probably trying to
like Scooby Doo it. We're all like from the closet go whoop, like our heads popping out.
And I'd be like, "Ooh, this will look so good on you, Valuth." And I'm gonna run over and again drag him over to the closet too, and just be like, "Look at this! This is a lime yellow."
So I feel like this is a moment where it's like a lot of people don't know what's happening and everyone's kind of getting together and trying to figure out what it is. And so Veevee is like, okay, I feel like a lot of these people, we all speak English because of what's happening, and we're all on this.
Speak for yourself. Just kidding.
Yes, no, exactly. But we all can have like a previously translated English, and we're all in this like trying to build the ship that I love. And Vivi just goes, "Oh, I don't know what to build. Sir." She's trying an American accent because she doesn't remember what those look like. American 19 or American 2000s accent. She doesn't know what that feels like, but she's like, everyone is trying to do their thing, and she's like, sir.
I'd imagine that you're speaking to me. How can I help you, Veevee?
Oh, it's you. Oh gosh, I was trying to like get an accent so that we could all like get this together. What is happening right now? Why we're just trying to like get in to have a book club meeting.
Yes, I was stretching my legs, and
well, because I wanted to, we gotta get people into the thing.
Yes, the narrative of the book club.
Do you like it or not? Because we don't have to do it, but also it's like I've been practicing my Jennifer Coolidge for like no good reason, because I thought that was the book that we were doing, and I'm trying to avail myself of, that era of Earth politics.
I believe the
I
assigned
think
reading
I had
was...
dragged Valoof over to be dressed.
Mm-hmm.
So at this time, I think I'm like having fabric measuring behind him. So I'm just kind of like listening to this. And Ty is going to explain everything. Ty was about to explain when we got distracted by costumes. So you don't have to worry about a thing. Just settle down.
What's happening with your fashion montage? This is what Earth people sound like to her, by the way.
I hail from Earth, and I can assure you, I have never heard anyone speak in that manner.
I understand, but they seem to have like a very good design element happening, and I would like to see it.
I'm so sorry. This is my fault. I should have been clearer in the initial messages. I do find a lot of mutually shared influences between the source material that was, I believe, initially Terran in nature, and the Bajoran adaptation we will be going through tonight. The holonovel for the evening is Jezom and the Argonauts. So hopefully you'll be able to see a through line, particularly people who are close to Earth. I hope that I did the adaptation of the adaptation some justice. Obviously, my Earth history is a little limited, but we'll see how the simulation goes, I guess.
I bet you did. I bet you did a really good job. We're just all still, like, loving this book club and trying to figure out, like, the ways in which we can adapt this book club.
If I may be so bold...
I'm really happy to be here.
If I may be so bold, who here has done the prerequisite reading necessary for us to continue this activity of book club?
Well, it's a holonovel.
Shockingly, I am obviously, being a Bajoran adaptation, I'm actually quite familiar with this. And Lieutenant, I have to say, I'm surprised and a little touched by your selection.
Well, we're all building a ship, aren't we? And the myths seem, well, right. So it looks like most people have gotten their fashion together, so why don't we start things up and people can choose their characters, and if there are questions we can always pause, and I'm happy to facilitate through anything we need. But the lovely thing about these holo novels, and one of the reasons I got into them so early, is that one tends to get the flow of it once things start going. So Ty moves to the stage door and almost whispers to the doorknob, "Computer, start holonovelism and the Argonauts," and opens the door to the beginning of the novel.
Just quick point of note, and not to... Rylem has not changed his clothing at all. He is, in fact, even still wearing his badge and everything, but just he is going along with things. But you, anybody who would look at Rylem would notice that he is the one person that has not switched up his attire.
I, on the other hand, look fabulous.
Yeah, I want to ask, what did Koi dress Tovaa and Qila like?
Of course, chime in if you want to have something different. But I imagine for Qila, it's going to be a fuchsia wrap that's going to be like diagonally across your body with a humongous gem brooch holding it together in the corner. That's in the shape of a constellation, Argonavis, which is what the constellation is based on the novel. And also, at the same time, there is another toga in the opposite direction that's going to be a bright orange, like a bright pumpkin orange. So it's like double toga.
Yes. The Ferengi rules of acquisition number 242. More is good, but all is better. I will take all of the togas. Thank you very much.
Of course. You're also going to have a humongous headdress as well.
Yes!
With big horns sticking out of it, too. Yeah.
I gotta ask. If
I have
Veevee
no idea what the
turns-
story's about, but I feel great about it.
If Veevee is like, I didn't really prep for this. What am I wearing?
Grab whatever looks great.
I'm gonna root through a dress since we're about to go in, and I'm just gonna be like, this will look great on you. And I'm just gonna toss a big dress, the first dress that I see, over to Veevee. And I think it's going to be like a wedding dress looking sort of thing. Like a big white thing with a lot of veils and lace on it. This will be great. And then also just for Tovaa, just so that you know what you're wearing, it's going to be like a Grecian gown that's going to be sky blue with no sleeves, and then just like braided cloth all around the edge of it. And I've done your hair up into like fluffed it up. So just so that you know what you're wearing.
Oh.
And
What did you put Veluth in?
I think it's going to be, I think it said lime yellow was the color that I held up for you. So I think I wrapped it around your waist as like a loincloth thing, and then just strung a very heavy statement necklace around your top.
So I just have a
You still have your uniform on. It's just like on top of it is like a loincloth feeling.
Oh, I look like I'm from the Mirror Universe.
Do you guys like your outfits? I think they're so fun.
Very fun.
And that's what I've dressed those four in.
So, I think that I think Veevee was like, I'm busy dealing with how do I like romanticize and cover up the idea that the siren in the back is part of her plan. How do I how do I deal with the fact that like we might be dealing with like a entire disaster, and I need to figure out how to talk to people who I trust about it while also pretend that I'm like, oh, well, like, of course it's fine that we are dealing with a disaster, blah, 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 blah. And so she is definitely like, oh, I love this thing that you have me do, which involves me just wearing a bunch of like white robes, which is not her thing, but she's like, she like rips the side out of one of them and like puts it on her knee and is like, I mean, it's a Dublin, but I'm also like American, so like, and like, rips her outfit into more of a thing that you might see from Cardi B.
That's so exciting. I love that for you, Veevee. You look fantastic. And just so that you guys know what I'm wearing, it's going to be a hot pink set of veils that I'm just like wearing. And I'm also made myself like a big skirt, and I'm going to be wearing coins so it all jingles every single time I walk everywhere, with braided sandals that lace up, because I really thought about what I was going to wear tonight. So that's what I'm wearing.
Okay.
When the doors open, what do we see?
Well, with you all standing there in various levels of your costumes, Ty dramatically opens the door, and the holodeck, without you all moving through the door, moves the door over you. And you are now on ancient Bajor. Slightly fantastical, you might say, version of ancient Bajor. And you hear the voice of a female Bajoran narrator pipe through the holodeck. Bajor, ancient times. We begin the story of Jezum and the Argonauts, Book 1. And you see graphics kind of populate in your vision. By the way, you are in a landscape. There's mountains to the right. There's a beautiful blue ocean that stretches out to the left. And there's land with lots of beautiful trees and bushes low to the ground and grass. It is a beautiful, fantastical representation of Bajor. The graphics that populate, kind of like when if anyone has worn an Oculus Rift and you're in those VR worlds and you can see menus that are just floating in space, that's what it looks like for all of you. These menus that populate. The first big menu, big title says Jezum and the Argonauts, a modern Bajoran adaptation of ancient Greek earthen stories. And then underneath that, you have pictures of different characters, and there's 7 characters to choose from. You can now pull up that link I sent you before, open that up, and you're all gonna sign up basically for who you're playing. So we'll do this above game and within the game so that I know who's playing who. So from left to right, we see the character options, and the narrator also will just kind of like spotlight one character and then put it back in the line and then bring the first one out. So that's what's happening as you hear this voiceover. Character selection. Vedek Jezum. And Vedek Jezum comes swirling in. You see, first of all, it's a humanoid shape of a face, but there's a question mark in it because we don't know who's playing them yet. Vedek Jezum is the leader and assembled this team of ancient Bajoran heroes. Vedek Jezum goes back to the line. Second is Korm. Korm, strongest person alive, child of the prophets. Korm has kind of a laurel headband and curly hair spilling out of it. Question mark face. Next is Kosin, one of the 2 twins, rogue-like trickster hatched from an egg. You see a sword peeking into Kosin's portrait. And back into the line, Pelex, the twin of Kosin, rogue-like trickster hatched from an egg. And facing the other way, a sword poking into the portrait of Kosin. Next is Waze, charmer of nature, master of music. And Waze is holding up a small lute and strumming it in their portrait. And then the last 2, Zoots, one of the 2 Boreads, child of the north wind. And you see 2 wings sticking out from the back of Zoots. And then the last one, Kubea, the second of the 2 Boreads, child of the north wind. And facing the other way, 2 wings sticking up from their back. And then all of your character choices are now lined up, and you all can select who you would like to play.
Well, Ty, you set this all up for us. Do you have a pick for yourself? I feel like you should go first.
Oh, I want to leave things open for people, honestly. and is actually looking over at Dr. Rylem, particularly given his professed connection to the text. But just a little bit of an over the shoulder, not super hard, like.
It's not going to take a perception check to notice that Dr. Rylem is looking troubled, like profoundly troubled by the character selection in front of him. And he's shifty-eyed, kind of looking at everyone to see what they're doing, but looks uncomfortable and is just kind of
So Ty looks to Kaz and says, "Why don't you go ahead and start picking?" And Ty starts to drift back, maybe for an aside if needed.
I think so. Kaz, I believe, was a tag along of Koi's, and so I believe the two of them just step up immediately.
Let's be the twins. You want to be twins?
Yeah,
Let's be twins.
Obviously, we're gonna be the twins. Okay, let's do it. And then I think they'll just go and select the twins immediately.
Boom.
Um,
And also, I'm eating a soft pretzel that I kept in my pocket, so I'm gonna slide you a little bit too, just so that you and I can have a snack together while we're waiting.
We're very quietly watching everybody choose theirs while we eat.
Okay, so you'll be the roguelike trickster twins.
Yes. Did you want to take Kosin or Pelix?
I Cosine.
Okay, cool. I'll do
Yes.
Pelix.
Okay.
I have so unless someone wants this character, but Ensign or Qila walks up to the selections and is like, Rule of Acquisition 287. Always get someone else to do the heavy lifting. However, I'm interested in possibly playing Corm. Which is the Hercules type character, the strongest one alive. I feel like as someone who's so small and probably very physically weak, I think Qila would have a fun time playing someone super strengthy.
Okay.
Finally, so I think Keela's gonna go for Hercules for Corn.
Great. So Qila, you step forward and you press your hand to the Hercules. And by the
Does
way,
this
when
mean
you-
I get the curly hair?
Well, to answer your question, yes. When you press your hand to that profile, when you choose your character, you now become adorned like that character. So yes, you get that laurel headband and you get the curly hair spilling out over it. You also get muscles.
Oh my gosh!
So you
Please
get
have
very-
fan art made of this, please, Lord.
muscles.
But are they still wearing the clothes that I picked out for them?
No,
I will.
It's okay. That's fine.
I
No,
think
it's fine. Look how good I wouldn't even fit in those togas now. I'm too swole.
I'm gonna say the program adjusts to what you're wearing, but it is gonna overlay a character on what you're wearing. So
Did you get tickets to the Phaser show? I'll step aside now.
okay, so we have 3 characters who are selected. So here's who's left. We have Vedek Jizum, the leader. We have Waze, who is kind of a bard, charmer of nature. Well, I guess a druid bard, charmer of nature, master of music.
I mean,
We have Zoots and we have Kubea, and those 2 are the flying warriors.
do I think I'm better at Zoots, Kumea, or at the charmy person? Let's.
Roll a die and ignore the results.
You know what? Thank you.
Yeah.
No,
There's
you're right.
how many are left? 4 left. Could roll a d4 or a d8
Alright,
and half
let's
it.
roll. Let's roll. In order to get, so I just rolled a 3
Okay.
from
so-
a 6, and 9 from a 10.
Okay. Well, counting down from who's left on my list, 1, 2, number 3 is Zoots. And then I don't know how to use that 9, but
I think you'd get the same character, eeny, meeny, miny, mo style. No?
yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So yeah.
Yo, but that's fun. I've
Okay.
never really done that before. Let's
So
do
you will
that.
be, you'll be a
Zoots.
flying warrior, Zoots, child of the North Wind. And as you press your hand to that profile, you assume that identity, and these 2 beautiful wings spring out from your back. All right. We have 3 more characters left to choose. We need another child of the North Wind, a flying warrior. And we need Vedek Jezum. And we need a Ways, charmer of nature and master of music.
My
You would have
reluctant
thought
heroes.
you would have thought I would have gone for the bard. I know it's that I held myself back. It was like, what would Qila pick? Not Bonnie. It was hard.
Right.
Luke
There are
is
many
very
levels
much
to
doing
this.
what Noir is doing.
Waiting for
Just trying to lay low until everybody.
I'm so
everybody
sorry
is-
that you have arrived at the point where
Yeah, I think this is
everyone is
it.
doing that. Welcome to
Yeah.
the dregs of character selection, my friend.
the 3 who
but
are left are all
while
doing that.
while you're thinking about it, I do have that aside with the troubled-looking Dr. Rylem, which may yet clarify the results. So, Doctor, do you have any strong inclinations?
Lieutenant, he glances at everybody else and says, I do. Though, if I can be honest, I'm not. May I speak to you in private? More
Yes.
so than this, just for a moment.
They make a small hand gesture that clearly triggers a pre-program for a door and opens back into the stage door.
Okay. In that
The
case,
virtues of
yeah.
having built the sim. A literal back door.
In which case, Reon walks through the back door and just stops and lowers his pad, and then he ends up clutching it to his side and he says, I'm so sorry, Lieutenant. I am trying to be as playful and as good-natured and charming as everyone else is being right now. A spirit of adventure. I am trying. This doesn't feel like me. I don't mean to say that I don't appreciate what's going on here, and I'm particularly very fond of the fact that you've chosen one of my favorite childhood stories that when I was at the orphanage used to read quite often. But I am uncomfortable when not working, and if it's all right, if it's not an insult to you or the efforts that you put into this, I think I might better enjoy this watching my companions go on this journey as opposed to participating.
You are by no means obligated toward this, and all things are not for all people. A couple of options present themselves to me. One is that from the air one might be able to get some distance if the spotlight might feel a little too overwhelming. But if you would like greater distance, you're free to stay in here, and they'll turn a knob that was hiding behind the costume rack for a one-way glass. If that would suit you better and you would like to watch your first time, you're more than welcome. it might give you a sense of whether it is for you or whether this isn't something you'd like to participate in. Whichever is comfortable, or if you would like to take your leave, our AI are more than adequate to fill the roles.
Thank you, Lieutenant. I don't think I'd like to take my leave, but I think I will take you up on becoming an appreciative audience member.
All right. No problem.
I
If you need anything, I will hear these pipes a little differently, and I will pass a set of pan pipes. Those will cut through to my audio in particular. So if you find yourself needing anything, given you're on this side of the glass while I'm in there, just let me know.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Yeah.
He looks, you see genuine relief on Reon's face. Maybe the first time you've seen him unclench in about a day or so, where he relaxes significantly and says, thank you, I appreciate that. I appreciate the pipe's aesthetic. That's very clever.
Well, I hope you enjoy what we're about to do, and maybe you'll want to hang out around for the discussion, but otherwise I will see you at the PS Conduits meeting tomorrow morning.
That sparks like excitement in his eyes. He says, yes, tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Of course. And they'll head back into the stage door, and the one-way glass window into the hall and novel will stay open.
And he'll just say, computer, chair. And he takes a seat and immediately starts pulling out his sketch pad for blueprinting as he crosses his legs, leans back, and starts watching.
Ty walks up to Kaz and Koi, and Kaz be like, so we like, how did the humanoids come from an egg? Is that a thing that happens?
They're
An egg?
oviviparous.
I think also while you were gone, Koi has used
So
the
Luke.
replicator and made us
You made
all.
your choice. And I think this. Were you possibly edging back toward where you saw a stage door that I might be? Yep. Made your selection then?
So, I think we might have.
Uh-oh.
we
Oh,
might have.
dear.
Uh-oh.
No,
It's
we're
my
good.
muscles.
to.
My muscles ruin everything.
No,
Ah!
Hi,
what
sorry.
happened?
Okay, we will take just one moment. We're all going to refresh, and we'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Oh no, did I break it? Luke tried to escape so hard he broke the game. But Luke is like,
Yeah, it was very clear
All right. Yeah.
at that point.
Our mics are hot, by the way.
Hi, hot mics. My mic.
Hey.
It's
it
always
going?
hot.
And we are back. We can now hear each other for the time being, so we're going to continue with this. I think the holodeck is just, having trouble loading this very large file. It's a little buggy, so we're just going to roll with it. Now, I believe where we left off, I forget, we had two ideas going on, two thoughts. Yeah, go ahead, Jade. And then we'll go to Ty.
Very brave. I was just gonna say, while Ty had stepped out with Rylem, I had replicated flagons of wine for the people who have chosen their characters, which I think is everyone except for Veluth. And so I'm like, you don't get yours until you choose a character. And the rest of us have our flagons and are just like cheersing each other and just drinking our wine. Because it's a book club. That's what we do.
All right. And Ty, you were re-entering. Were you going to say some things?
Oh, yes, I was, not quite yet. I was, vexing Veluth.
Okay, Veluth.
Who was attempting a little bit of a sneaking out, and, not today, alas. So what character have you chosen, sir?
I wanted to make sure that everyone else had their choice of characters. I would.
Oh, yes, it's all yours now. No worries.
Oh. I can't help but notice that there are multiple characters available still.
And by the wonders of my capacity for AI programming, that will all be handled. Go ahead, don't worry.
So just to sum up, Veluth, here's who is still available. Vedek Jasm, the leader. Waze, the druid bard, we can say. And Kubea, the winged warrior.
I suppose I am left with no other option than Vedek.
Okay, Vedek Jasm.
Alright. I will... Then I suppose you make a liar of me, sir. And I'll step into, Wish.
All right. And as you all press your characters and take the form of your characters, Ty, you, with a flick of the hand, just kind of dismiss Kubea, who no one will be playing, so that the program knows it's okay to proceed. Once all the characters are either selected or dismissed, the adventure begins.
Wonderful.
You hear string music gently playing, drifting over the Bajoran ancient hills. And the scenery moves towards you faster, as if you all are moving through it. And zooming into this palace, ancient Bajoran palace, you now stand as a group in front of a king. Mid-conversation, this picks up. And there's a little tag that kind of floats near this king, who's in these like very long, winding purple robes with medallions holding them in place. The tag says Uncle Rido. And the character begins to speak. And you, Vedek Jasm, if you want to take over as Kai, you must bring me the golden sail from Cardassia. This will be no easy feat, my nephew. But as you say, you believe you are worthy of this throne, and so you should be worthy by making yourself worthy, by going through this trial. What say you? You and your band of heroes, will you sail across the space and time to Cardassia to bring me a golden sail and take this title of Kai from within my reach?
I have a few questions. One, how did my predecessors how did my predecessors show that they were worthy? I don't believe it could be the same task as you've given me, as you would have already had the golden cell in your possession. Two, what do you intend to do with the golden cell? I think that is a most impertinent question. I can't in good standing retrieve this for you if you have any ill means for it. Third, according to my recollection, the Kai is a religious standing. Would this be some sort of pilgrimage? in which case there are special Federation laws for how we should progress with the pilgrimage. Can you answer these for me?
Tovaa just kind of like leans in towards Bluth and goes, I think it's pretend, boss.
Oh,
And now you must build your ship with the help of the prophets. And you are zoomed out of the room and to the shore. This Bajoran shore. Where there are 3 starship builds. And you all must choose one. The one to the left, the fast build. The one in the center, the sturdiest, strongest looking build. And the one to the right, the most ornate, with the most beautiful etchings on the golden sails and the masts that have decorations and carved engravings on them. Which ship do you all choose?
computer, can you provide schematics on the 3 vessels?
So the 3, when you ask that, the first one
Your
zooms.
Alexa.
Well, Alexa. The first one kind of takes the spotlight and it kind of spins in front of you in space. And the Bajoran narrator says, "The first ship is the fastest." And then that ship goes back. The second one, "This ship is the sturdiest." And the third one,
Is
"This ship
just
is
right.
the
I go
most
for the third one.
ornate." And you have those choices again.
I do
I'm also
believe-
going to be dancing at the third one, be like, the pretty one! The pretty one! Let's
I
get
ju-
the pretty one!
May I just offer also that if you need help making a selection, I highly recommend the STO DPS League. Just in case you need that.
Computer,
See, it's
pull up
funny. I
the-
was
No,
thinking
I'm
of
just
letting
kidding.
Ty look toward the fourth wall, which in fact has a Dr. Rylem in it. But here you went and broke it right through for us. Perfect.
I
Okay, which
believe-
ship do you all choose?
I believe the crew has already selected the pretty one.
I know for a fact we will not survive this ordeal on this ship, but yet we will look good doing it.
And have so much fun. Look at that bar on that ship.
You all are zoomed onto the ship, and this Bajoran. Oh, go ahead.
So just like as that happens very quietly, Tovaa, hearing all this just under her breath, goes, "Computer safety protocols are on, right?"
Safety protocols are on.
Cool, thanks.
You all are zoomed onto this beautiful, ornate solar sail ship. And for those of you who are watching, definitely Google Bajoran solar sail ships. They're very cool and very beautiful. They've popped up in Star Trek numerous times. And so that's what we're talking about. But think like ancient Greek classical spin to all of that. So this golden sailed vessel with you all on it now just takes right off into the stars. And you all are now in space, out of the orbit of Bajor.
Might I
And
just-
the narrator takes over and says, "And so your journey begins. Between here and ancient Bajor, you come upon many trials and tribulations, the first of which, a planet called Lys. And the ship kind of descends onto this planet. This planet is small, it's rocky, it has kind of like a pale purple tint to the soil. And you all are now standing on this planet. And there's a row of women. In the distance behind the women is a town of some kind, but you all are out here kind of in a desert, a purple desert. And these Bajoran women, one of them greets you and says, "Welcome to Lys. How may we help you on your journey?"
Me and my crew are in pursuit of a golden cell. Though I realize now that our own vessel has the golden cell, but I think
We found it! This was easy! Oh,
I think we're meant to find a particular golden cell.
understood. I have yet to read this story. I'm sorry.
I read the original Terran variant. Would you, by chance, happen to have the location of this very particular golden cell that I am meant to acquire so that I might become Kai?
Oh, I've never heard of that, but you are welcome to stay out here. We can set up a campsite and we can sing and drink and cook for you? And all the other women say, yes, of course, of course. Go ahead and actually, I'll have you, since you are the Vedic here, roll 4 d6s.
4
tell me-
d6s.
Yeah, tell me what each one, the result is on each one.
Okie dokie, let's get it popping. All right, here we go. Yeah! I rolled a 3, a 6, a 6, and a 5.
Okay. As these women are kind of enticing you to stay and spend the night here, a wind passes by your face and you get this stench. It is awful, and it's coming from the direction of the town behind them.
I would not like to join you. Something around the area in which you live smells quite foul. I'd like to continue my adventure.
What do you mean? What do you mean? And all the women do this very weird laugh, like, what the no, you're imagining it. You've been off sailing in space for too long. Here, we will stay right here, and we will make a fire and make you a beautiful pot of stew. Yes, stew. Yes.
I'm like with the women. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds really fun. We should stay here, Commander, and just hang out.
Am I here for this? I can't remember if I'm like, so I'm definitely like, hey, we should move towards the story because this is like a fun thing that we're doing, and I feel like suffering is not fun. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, bye.
Do none of you smell the pungent odor coming from these women in their village?
At this point, you see that there seem to be now 3 options that populate in the holographic graphics that float in your VR space. The first one says, romance the women. The second one says,
No, thank you.
investigate stench. And the third one says, make political alliance.
Okay, so just to be sure, hit on the hotties, make it not stink,
Investigate stench. Potentially make it not stink.
and the last one was
Make a political alliance.
okay, cool. Hot girl always, no more stank. Make everyone agree with us. Easy peasy.
Ty starts to edge toward the romance option out of a sense of character and like this slightly awkward trying not to metagame.
Well, if we go through the choices that we have,
I'm also like into the ladies too.
Well, if we go through the choices that we have logically, romancing the women gets us no closer to the golden sail, and we would have to endure. Yeah, he just waves his hand.
Endure?
We'd have to
Endure?
endure stew.
Oh.
Not a fan.
We could investigate the odor, but again, that brings us no closer to our final goal. Which
But
is
we don't
to-
know that. That odor could be a ruse. Some people smell stench. I smell profit.
I
A
see.
counter.
So you want to make a political alliance? Is that
5,
what-
4, 3.
We shall
2,
romance the
1.
women.
What? Oh, jeez.
Valuth, you hit. Is that the option you hit?
Yes.
Romance the women. And we actually speed up the scene. And now each of you, actually, I'll let you decide, but each of you has like a woman nearby. And some of them are just gazing at you lovingly. Some of them are kind of like petting your feet.
Hey, hands off the lobes. Hands off the lobes.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. They're so beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
You're Jules and you're so strong, Corm. What a hero you are.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pick her up and put her away.
I'm just gonna look at Qila and go, endure.
What are the rest of you doing?
Can I go and watch from the other side now? This is.
I'd like to be laying across the laps of like 3 women and just kind of like lounging with them. I hope they're feeding me something like maybe not grapes, but something like a grape.
Yeah, not
like,
stew
popping in
either.
my mouth. Not sexy stew. No, just like a local fruit thing, and just be like, so, what's happening in town? And I'm just like bopping their noses and just like touching an ear here and there.
Go ahead and roll, Koi. Go ahead and roll 4d6.
Okay. 4d6. All right. 6, 6, 3, 4. So, two wolf effects. Or I don't know if this is damage or not.
When you ask what's going on in town, the girl who's feeding you the fruit says, "Oh, it's just the stench of our rotted dead husbands that we all killed. Oops."
Oh, they can smell so bad. And I'm just gonna like, and just go along with them, like.
Right? Isn't that strange? And all the other women start to laugh.
Strange. And I'm just like kind of elbowing Tovaa and be like, Tovaa, did you hear that? The stench of the dead husbands. Wow.
Wow, Tovaa like has the computer like pull up like a little hollow like reminder of her character. Like when you're at a murder mystery party, you have a little card. You have to like double check every couple like to check your characteristics. And she looks again at roguelike trickster. So she's like, okay. So she's gonna try to like, haha. Y'all look like you're having fun. And she's gonna try to like, do they have any personal effects? Can she like rummage through their stuff?
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and roll 4d6.
Okay. Oh gosh, dropping dice. We're fine. 4, 4, 5, 5.
4, 4, 5. Okay, 2 5s.
So can I help and just be like dancing and like trying to
distract,
to keep their attention?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just, like, and I'm taking like my veils and I'm just kind of like flourishing them.
Literally.
And like kind of winking at Tovaa at the same time.
Oh no, the Wonder Twins. The Wonder Twins are at it.
Yeah, so Tovaa, with that help as well, you find bloody knives and all sorts of weird bloody weapons in their personal effects.
She like is like looking while they're all distracted, like behind them, while she like hopefully making eye contact with some of her crew. She's like holding up a bloody knife and is like,
and you just
and then like puts it back.
And I'm trying to like make signals like kind of what's that flag thing called?
Oh,
where you can, like, send messages.
Semaphore, yeah.
I forgot what it's called. Semaphore, yeah. With my veils, and I'm kind of like looking at the commander and time being like trying to be like, help.
Did I see them pull up the knives to show us like?
Yep.
Okay.
Try
I
to
would
show
say
everybody.
anyone in this area would have seen that. Yeah. Those of you, the party.
I take it the flirting is not to your liking?
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to
Are you talking to
Koi.
me?
Koi with
You talking to me? I'm walking in.
Look at Koi with her 3 girlfriends.
I'm just gonna be like, sweeties, I'll be right back, and I'm just gonna kiss each of them on the lips, and then be like, and then be like, they killed all their husbands in town.
I gathered.
That's why it smells bad.
I had a inkling.
Should we do something about that?
Well,
I knew they were a little too friendly. Rules of acquisition number 48. The bigger the smile, the sharper the knife. Literally. We should probably choose another option.
should we apprehend them?
Tovaa has all their knives.
I have several knives.
Okay.
We did our job. We worked really hard to solve this part of the chapter.
All right, look, I'll fix this, and then I'm just gonna go up to like the women and just start punching them out.
Oh my gosh!
What? I mean, I feel like we need to keep moving forward, and this is really just holding us up. Excuse me, ladies, if you wouldn't mind taking a nap.
Roll 4d6.
Can I
Veevee
just say that
catches a hand
I'm
in her
thrilled that
hand.
this
Oh,
is our
wait.
first
Oh,
combat.
hold on, Eric.
So
Sorry.
I just rolled 4 of the actual
Oh, jeez.
Star Trek dice.
Vivi
Yep.
was gonna hold.
So I got,
Everyone pause for a second because I think we're overlapping again because we can't hear each other. So let's go to Bonnie first, and then we'll do Vivi and then Eric. Okay, Bonnie, go ahead.
2 stars and the insignia.
Okay, so Bonnie, you got
2 effects.
1 plus 2. You got 2 out of 4. And then go ahead, Vivi. What were you gonna say, Danielle?
Oh, I was just gonna say that I was gonna catch that attack in Vivi's hands.
Oh, you're gonna try to stop the attack?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead and roll 4d6.
Oh, geez. D6.
Don't try to
4.
stop these guns, Vivi.
Yeah, roll 4d6. And then Eric, what were you gonna say while Danielle's rolling?
I was just commenting that I love that this is the first combat roll in the entire campaign.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. 4d6.
Yep, 4d6.
And then do I need to do another roll?
Yeah, so when you roll the 4d6, what did you get? 1s, 2s, 5s, and 6s are successes. 3s and 4s count for nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, so you are not able to stop this attack, and Blue.
I'm just gonna pick Vivi up and put her to the side.
Well, before that can
super
happen,
strong.
your punch connects with one of the women, and all the women are like, "Oh, no!" And the program pauses, and it says, "Would you like to try another option?" And it gives you the other 2 options.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah, let's do that. Ha! See, I don't even have to knock them all out. This saves us tons of time.
The other 2 options are investigate the source of the stench or make a political alliance with the women.
I suppose we should investigate the stench now that we know what it is.
Yes. Let's go and find all the dead bodies. That sounds like a great time.
Is it investigating
So
when we
glad I'm
know
here.
what happened?
We
We
don't
kind of
know.
don't need to investigate since we know they killed their husbands, right? I mean, crime solved. Even I could tell you that. I'm a security officer.
Yes,
They did
but-
it.
Yes, but we don't know who the men were that were killed. They could have
That's
very well been on the same quest as us and have made more progress. We could learn from them, or at least we can deliver them justice. They were murdered.
Yes, I call my fists justice. I could-
The timer goes up on the choices.
Oh, dang
5,
it.
4,
Are we in agreement?
3, 2.
Whatever. You're
Investigate.
the leader.
I would like to find a reason to
Investigate
investigate.
the. Okay, that's what was pressed. So, we rewind in the story a bit. A feast is now being had, and it's not the romancing, but it's just a feast happening in the desert. The women all fall asleep, and you all are free to now investigate the source of the stench.
I immediately get up and head towards the stage.
Okay.
Not making an attempt to be particularly stealthy. It's just, okay, this is the plot point, and he's just walking to it.
Okay.
Tovaa as once again has her little hollow instructions up and is looking at the words roguelike and will attempt to be very stealthy.
Okay.
I think, are we all following Baloof stealthily?
Not me.
No.
I'm just.
Ty will stay back, plucking on Wage's lyre, lullaby to keep the women asleep while the party scouts.
Nice. Okay. I think I'm only going to have Veluth roll actually now 5d6 because of the help of that lullaby. Just to see if you all can sneak away.
All right,
right,
let's
fantastic.
do it. Here we go. Yeah. That's a 1, a 1, a 1, a 3, and a 5.
That's 4 successes. So yes, you all are able to sneak away with Wage strumming on the lyre, keeping the women asleep in the desert. You all arrive at the town, and yes, the stench has gotten worse and worse as you get closer. And you actually notice a couple of things. Number one, you do a pretty good investigation looking around the buildings and seeing if anything's dug up. You do see some graves, but the stench is coming from everywhere, the whole town. And I'm going to say, let's see which one of you. Wage is not there. I'm going to say Corm. Corm, being a child of the prophets and connected to the deities, as it were,
Oh, yes,
you
that's me.
sense that this is a curse. The stench itself is actually a marker and a curse that was placed upon this town by the prophets to warn others. The stench is not actually coming from the dead bodies.
Time out. Rewind. I think this is just me speculating here. Pretty sure we're about to get cursed.
A
not
curse? On us?
Oh, I don't know. It's around. I haven't read this book. This is very different from my book club. But, again, quite enjoyable. Does anyone,
Well,
did
you
anyone
should-
read the actual book? Is this all
should
you do?
read
Is
the
you just
book.
guess?
It's not. You should read the book. It's not that we're all like gonna be felled or forlorned by the book that is obviously a horror. It's meant to scare us into doing things. Obviously, we should check out the book if you think that like it's not a thing that is just a book, but it is just a book.
In the meanwhile, while Veevee's saying this, I'm gonna be trying fanning the smell away from me because I don't want the curse to be on me, and I'm gonna try and beat it off of
It's
Tovaa
just
too.
a book.
And
Right, but this book smells really bad.
at this point, the program pauses again. And you rewind back to the desert scene. And there's one choice left.
Well, I think we know which one to do.
Let's make political allies out of these murderers.
Okay. You press
Hey,
that last
tomato,
choice.
tomato.
It doesn't
And-
smell bad.
You press that last choice, and you're back at the beginning of the desert scene, before the feast, before anything happens, and the women are just looking at you and smiling. So, what would you
would-
like to do?
We would like to make political allies with you.
Oh, wonderful! Well, since you asked so nicely, whenever you are by Lys, our planet, you may stay here, and we will provide you with food and wine. That's all. Goodbye. And they all
Holy
say
hell.
goodbye, goodbye, goodbye,
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
goodbye.
That was easy.
Can I
was
still
really
punch
easy.
them?
No.
We're allies now, though. So
Great.
Did
So
the
now
hell
the
break?
I imagine Qila's taking a step towards them, and Tovaa and I are like trying to pull her hands.
and there's a very swift like turn, like 180 as we head back to this.
Yeah, the holodeck program zooms you back to the ship, and once again you are taking flight into the unknown wilds of space towards Cardassia. And the narrator takes over again. Actually, let's see. Many more trials are experienced by Jason and the Argonauts, but none more perplexing as this strange case of Vision. And you all land on another planet. This planet has like these columns of stone that are haphazardly stacked, like 50 feet tall. You are by a bay, a very placid bay, and in the middle of a semicircular structure made from these columns of stone stands an old man with long beard and white hair and wearing those like ornate Bajoran robes, but his are more torn and tattered. And he's hunched over, kind of holding himself. You see harpies in the sky flying back and forth, hurling stones at him. And now there are three options that populate in front of you in this scene. There's chase off the harpies in the sky. There's yell at the harpies. And there's try to move Vizian out of the way.
Does anyone have any recollection of the capabilities of harpies?
Oh, they can fly.
They're half bird and half women, typically. But I mean, is there a reason why they're mad at him? I feel like I don't know if we should interfere with their little.
Does
battle.
that violate the Prime Directive?
I feel like
I'm looking for Luke.
I feel like us throwing rocks is pretty barbaric in my opinion. I suspect foul play. No offense to the fact that they're,
Birds.
you know,
We could
but
be pretty loud. We'd yell.
I'm just gonna grab a rock as well, and I'll be like, let's just see how they like it, and I'm gonna throw a rock back.
Choice made.
So, yeah,
made!
the choice shimmers. Chase off the harpies in the sky, it sounds like, was the choice.
Look, maybe you shouldn't have invited me to book club. Next time I'll study the material. I'm not quite sure what I'm. Fuck it.
I
This
wouldn't
is
read
this
that
is
one.
this is the Hollow novel. This is how we do the story. So
Yes,
you made a
yes.
choice. So that's you did it right. So don't
Yeah,
worry.
as you're having this discussion, the harpies turn and notice that someone threw a rock at them, and they now are like, fiercely looking you down, and they start barreling towards you very fast. Everyone roll 4d6.
Oh no. Oh boy.
Rewind.
Now, there are 6 harpies,
Ooh,
so if you get 6
ooh.
successes, you can take them all out collectively.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the little starbursts and a insignia.
Well, that takes them all out.
Yay!
Oh, good.
I rolled
Right?
really well. Thank you,
Yeah,
Star
you
Trek
I
dice.
too, but yes.
You took them all with
Wait,
your one
why
rock.
how many? You rolled 4d6?
I
You
rolled
one.
4d6, so I got, the little starbursts.
Yeah.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Two of them had 2.
Oh,
So
got
1, 2,
it.
3, 4,
2.
5 of little starbursts, and then 1 little insignia.
Okay, so I'm counting
Yes, yeah.
3 successes on 3 different dice, right? Not counting the starburst separately.
2 dice that were 2s, 1 die that was 1, and 1 die that was an effect.
Thank you. I forgot the terminology.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam.
So I think combined with everyone's successes, yes, you're able to take out all of these harpies by throwing stones at them. And you all, the story proceeds.
This is
with
the
that
first time I feel
success.
strong in my life.
Yeah.
You're
Qila is
enjoying
loving
being
this.
Corm for sure.
Qila
You
is
all
loving being strong.
land down by the shore, and Vizian kind of straightens up a bit and peers at you all, looks up at the sky. They're gone. Oh, I can't thank you enough. Well, actually, I can thank you enough. I can see that you are adventurers looking for the golden sail. There is one more trial before you get to Cardassia, and you will need this for it. And some words of advice. You must let the softest of these take flight and guide your way through the crashing rocks. And he hands over a cage, about 3 feet by 3 feet, a cage filled with different animals. There's a flying lizard, a rabbit, a dove, and a krutu, which is a Bajoran snake that's furry and has 8 legs.
Wait, did you say they're all winged? Oh no, they're not all winged.
There's a flying lizard, a rabbit, a dove, and a krutu, a furry snake with 8 legs.
Two of them have wings.
And so,
Great.
when one of you grabs this cage from Vizian, you all are swooshed back into the ship. And fast forward through the novel, you are now at an asteroid field where there are 2 massive asteroids beating against each other rhythmically. So big that you could fit 50 of your ship in each of these massive crashing rocks. What do you do?
I don't think my fists are going to be useful in this one. I'm open to ideas.
Which one's softest?
I think we should touch all of them. Should we take all the animals out and hold them? Because that's what I want to do.
Yeah, we gotta figure out which one's softest.
Yeah. So I think Tove and I immediately run over to the cage, open it, and we're just grabbing animals.
Okay.
I'm like, is this softer? Is this
one
softer to
okay?
you? No, try this one.
Is that okay? Okay.
Okay, try the rabbit
Tova.
to crew.
Tova and Koi, go ahead and roll 46 to gauge the softest animals.
I thought the animals were attacking them.
We've been given a direction, and so we're just following. 2 4s, a 1 and a 6.
I got
Okay.
a 2 and a 6.
2 4s,
So I think, yeah.
1 and a
The
6.
2 and the 6 is 2 with an effect.
2
4 with an
and a
effect.
6. Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
So many numbers at once. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It sounds like y'all got more than 50% success on your dice, and that's
Yes.
kind of what I'm going by
Okay,
for success.
Cool.
50% or higher. And you all feel that the dove is the softest.
Yeah, I think the rabbit put up a good fight, but I think the dove...
I agree.
Look, here, feel it against your cheek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The spots don't lie. That's pretty soft. Okay.
I'm sorry, are we fighting against different kinds of cute animals?
We're not fighting.
We just had to figure out which one's softest.
Yeah.
And we decided it's a dove.
An option goes up. Actually, you've already chosen the dove. So all that's left to do is, as Vizian said, let it fly.
Okay. Like, put it in the pilot seat, or like...
Do we just, like, throw it out the window?
Oh, it's... vacuum space.
Do we shoot it like a torpedo?
Wait, can a
Just
dove fly?
let it go.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Tova, you open your hands, and the dove just flies off into space towards the crashing rocks. And there's no... The rocks kind of grind to home. Whatever strange gravitational waves were making them crash together just stop when the dove goes through.
Follow the dove. Who's the pilot? Follow the dove. Follow the dove. Follow the dove.
All right, engaging.
Yeah. So with your
Do I get to
Bajoran-
keep the animals?
with your warp sail, your golden solar sails, you fly through the crashing rocks, and at the edge of the solar system ahead of you, you see Cardassia Prime. And now, end titles. Jasum and the Argonauts, Book 1 complete. You're back in the backstage area.
Not the way I thought it would go, but I can't argue with the results. That was wonderful. How does
Wait.
everyone feel?
Where's the golden sail?
There's more than one.
It's book 1. We just did.
Book 1. That's like an end of the adventure. That's like the whole goal. If I guess we have to get another quest if we got it in the end of book 1. But
Yeah.
Great.
it's a long game quest.
That's all right.
That was cool.
Ty, it was so fun. It was so fun. I loved it.
Good, I'm glad. I love what you all did at that island with the stench.
We had to give every option a spin. We were running the program to its fullest. I don't know what else you'd expect from us.
I appreciate the
I
quality
wanted to
assurance.
experience everything that you put into it.
I'm gonna
The des-
look. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, he's just gonna say the design of the smell was inspired.
Vivid.
Amazing. Yeah.
Oh, and watching you work together to build up that that moment of like, yeah, we know what you think it's gonna be, but it's not gonna be that. Well done. Well done.
Ty looks particularly to the newcomers, trying to gauge the vibe. Just, did Veluth have fun? I can roll insight about it if I've got it.
Go, you're gonna have to.
Okay, go ahead. Roll Insight Command.
Oh, good. I'm great at this. No.
Oh, difficulty. Well, I'm going to
It's a
make this
one
an
contested?
opposed roll.
Yeah.
Let's make an opposed roll. Difficulty 1, but whoever gets more successes will win as long as it's over 1. And yeah, I would say control security control security for Veluth to defend.
So I rolled a 13 and an 8 in my command, and what was the other one?
Control security. You're
Oh,
trying to close off.
okay. Well, I lose. My command is 4. My control is 10.
Okay, 14 is your target number.
I rolled a 13 and an 8.
Okay, you got 2 successes. And how
Okay.
did Ty do?
I have a 10 and an 11, and the magic number is in fact 11.
Oh,
So I think we tied.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
yeah.
of course a roll I did
It's
was
a tie.
high.
It's a tie. You tie it. Yeah.
It's a tie. Yeah.
I will say Veluth is keeping it together, but there is an antsiness that you're noticing. Like he has an idea. Like I would say you in particular will recognize this. Something in the story we just did has inspired an idea. And right now they're just like, okay, let's get the pleasantries over. I've got a thing that I want to try.
Oh, I think they look at Veluth ready to pick up on that, and they relax and sit back into it, like, oh, this is everything I wanted. All right, I'll let him make his excuses now.
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say another lovely book club meeting. There's something that's I have to attend to at the lab. So, is there any further need for me to be here?
Go do your command business.
Oh, you'll be getting a report from Roberts.
I was gonna say I brought some food for everyone to share, but Liv, you already had some earlier, so it's okay if you have to run off.
It was delightful, thank you. And yes, immediately.
Okay, so
I'm gonna turn towards. I'm gonna look over at Eric and be like, "How did we do on your favorite story? Just as you remembered?"
Reon looks up from his data pad as he has now stepped out from the back room and is in the doorway, and he just says, I recognized the landscape, and I recognized the costumes and the sail, the golden sail. And that was...
So we did a great job.
I think you all did quite well.
So you got to experience a story in a way that you never had before, right?
That is an accurate way of saying this. Yes, I would agree. Yes. But I also came up with some pretty interesting ideas based off of what I was seeing. It's amazing how much a good dose of chaos and an overly ordered mind can actually inspire creativity.
And I'm just gonna like flex my muscles because I'm assuming we're still in like costume. Like that's what we're here for.
and
it drops.
And then it drops. No,
the muscle.
my
droops
my
up.
beautiful hair.
And with that, we will
Super fast.
now just
Can we-
spin.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna ask for because Koi had brought food. Kaz would suggest going back to the solar sail to like eat, like have to like on our little like solar
We have a little
sail
picnic.
Bajoran, ship to like eat like in space on the like the little ship that Ty had designed for us. We don't need to have a
And
scene of it,
so
but
you
I would
do.
like that to be. I would like to
we'll
instantiate
end
that.
the scene on that image of you all just sharing the phoenix claws sitting on that beautiful ornate Bajoran ancient Greek solar sail. And now we go over to the lab. Veluth.
Veluth has pulled up the model of the ship that has the life signs on it, and Commander's log. While I am loath to admit it, Ty may have inspired the solution for this particular problem. The life form seems interested in something in the starship, so we need to remove it while keeping it safe. The ship of Theseus comes to mind immediately. If we can remove pieces from the ship one by one, we can find what it is that this life form is drawn to, and perhaps replicate it, so that we can have it habitate somewhere other than the vessel. Ship. Computer, I need you to begin a model of dismantling the ship, and we'll see if we can find what it is that it's drawn to here. And that's what he's going to spend the night doing, trying to literally piece by piece, removing, just all in theoretics, just like run a probability of how the life form reacts, piece by piece. And that's his entire night.
All right. So we'll end on just that hollow view, kind of populating out of your desk, that holographic model of the ship being taken apart different piece by piece in various different ways. The program is just running and trying to figure out the best ways, and you're adjusting and kind of making notes and things like that. And we end on that image, and that's where we'll end our session. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this holo novel episode of Clear Skies Perseverance. Thank you so much for joining us. Want to thank Star Trek Online, Mike Fatum, Cryptic Studios, Modifius Entertainment, Explore Mars, and of course, go check out the Transgender Law Center. It's been real. We will see you next week for continuing to find out what is in this ship. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
What's in the ship? What's in the ship?